When I first walked into my first job at a senior high school, which became the only high school I ever taught in, the principal, who had been there for many, many years, told me years later, when I met you, I thought, this young fellow's not going to last a week. And he said something, but I fooled him. And he told, of course he wouldn't have told me this if I hadn't proved that he was wrong. I not only lasted a week, I lasted several years. And I think I had a very satisfying career as a teacher of English literature, and for a while of mathematics as well. But it had to do with personality. He was assuming that I would walk into that school. I guess he was assuming that I'd walk into that school and I'd immediately become an authority figure at the front of the room, demanding perfect attention and perfect behavior, and that perhaps I was a little too young, a little too gentle to make it work. Well, I knew myself well enough, and I knew what a couple of really good teachers I'd had myself. And of course I'd had teacher training. And I didn't try to become one of those old-fashioned teachers that used the whip and insisted on absolute attention every minute. I worked the crowd. I got students involved. I made it interesting enough that they would listen. I did not stand at the front of the room and write notes on the board very often. I remember meeting an old student recently who reminded me, when I think of your teaching, I think of you sitting up on the windowsill, because that's where you seem to be most comfortable teaching. And I realized, of course it would be, because I wasn't the center of attention. I was incidental, but I also was in a position of raised authority, and yet had control of the whole room. So I found my own way of making my own personality work in the classroom.